day, skin enjoyers. Have the Nikes this time for profit review. Last week we discussed the June Force Wipe Rust Store for 2026, and at me today, well, we've got a very special Rust Store to discuss. We have, on June 11, 2026, Complete the Sets 2026, so sit back and relax, and I'll start yapping. So, at first glance, I do remember, I was like, okay, I've seen many Complete the Sets Rust Stores in the past. This one's alright. Decent variety, weapon skins, deplorables, clothing and armour. I can't be too upset. And with the choices of collections continuing and whatnot, it's fine. But we had a notable standout skin here. What? Now, standout based on the fact that it wasn't a collection continuation. What's Murder Hornet doing here? And of course, with No Mercy Auto Turret, 2 Auto Turret skins. Hang on a minute. Was that the brand new skinnable? Yes, because with the previous week, we didn't see a single Auto Turret skin being accepted. That most likely was due to the fact that we had the Industrial Deco DLC pack being introduced, and that had an Auto Turret skin in it. So maybe Facepunch thought to themselves, you know what? Why don't we delay a marketable Auto Turret for a while? Let the DLC get appreciated, and then of course we'll complete the sets. We'll just accept a collection continuation and an extra one. So that's my best bet. So okay, cool. For $2, Murder Hornet. And for $4, No Mercy. Of course, there's a No Mercy skin accepted. I mean, it was expected. So anyway, so, alright, cool. Auto Turrets. Interesting. Are they going to sell a lot? Are they actually going to be utilised and appreciated a lot? And how many skins are we going to see being accepted, like, for the foreseeable future? Is that going to be a common sight? We'll see how it goes, okay? We'll see how it goes. So, alright. Both of them looking very nice. But we've got quite a lot to discuss in regards to that. But moving on, we also happen to have the Knights Templar roadside gloves and boots. Oh, yes. That quite literally was completing a clothing and armor set. Now, very, very interestingly, not too long before this, about a month and a half, 2 months before we saw the boots and gloves, we had the Knights Templar jacket being accepted. And that was a very welcome addition. With that appearing, we saw all of this Pokemon Spike and Price. But with this appearing, we saw all of this Pokemon Spike and Price. It was great, including the jacket, which had been Slip and Blurt's Rust Store price before we saw this appear. But there's one little problem in regards to when you see a completed set. What appears after the boots and gloves that'll give that a boost? Oh. See, this is actually a bit of a problem with complete the sets. Nice to see some sets actually being completed, but once they've all wrapped up and finished, what else can come out to give these skins a nice boost? Oh, well, I mean, you might sit there and say, what about deplorables? What about like weapons and tools? For clothing and armor? So even then I was like, okay, yeah, that might be a bit problematic. So, okay, cool. We'll get back to that in a bit, don't you worry. Another Heat Seeker skin has been accepted. It is a transparent aim sight pay-to-win Heat Seeker bolt action rifle. It's also $4. Okay, I mean, quite expensive this Rust Store, yes. So, alright, that's cool. Another Heat Seeker skin has been accepted, and it's not going to be like the SKS from earlier in the year. That was quite literally the first marketable SKS skin to be accepted without shenanigans. Again, if you remember the training limited edition SKS, that one actually came out properly and did over 50,000 subscribers, and ever since it came out, it's been struggling, but that's not too surprising, is it? This right here, how much is it going to sell, especially knowing that it's the focused item of the month? Could we see another pay-to-win transparent aim sight bolt action rifle appearing after this? Well, I had noticed them on the workshop, let me tell you that. So, okay, might be a bit problematic, but still, looks good. A nice addition for the collection that's been doing very well for the past year or so. Okay, could we have a nice resurgence for Heat Seeker collection? Could we have Heat Seeker Summer 2026? Keep an eye out. Training bag, perfectly fine. I saw no issue with it. The first ever deplorable skin to be accepted for the training collection. HellCore Tier 3. I had been waiting for this for quite some time. Oh, yes, indeed I had. So, of course, we had seen the hoodie and pants. Then randomly saw a bandana and poncho. But finally, with the second attempt, version 2, we finally saw the Tier 3 being accepted. Now, by default, I'm automatically hoping for some Tier 2 armor. Oh, that'd be great. Maybe some boots and gloves, that'd also be great. So there's a lot of possibilities here. But will the tier 3 match up with the sales that we saw with the hoodie and pants? That was the main thing that I was concerned about. A very interesting electric furnace has been accepted, but how many electric furnaces are we going to see being accepted? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, starting to add up. Starting to add up. So, alright, cool. Molten Visage made a nice return, though. Very cool looking skin, but the whole collection isn't exactly super in demand. SINOTYPE has magically reappeared. Now, I should remind you that had been submitted quite some time back. Again, complete sets, that's a normal thing to see. It had been submitted over 4 months ago. Okay, cool. Well, does this open the door for a potential subsidiary small box SINOTYPE collection? Because, of course, ever since we saw SINOTYPE, we had so much hype. There was lots of love, lots of appreciation. And then Facepunch also released the Boxes DLC, which probably not the best for all the people that invest into these Facepunch. Probably not the best. But then we're questioning, okay, if we get a small box collection now, could it revitalise all of this and get a lot of people wanting to use it again? Perhaps wishful thinking. But at the very least, alright, the only other instance we've seen like this is Neon Small Boxes and the Small Props collection. If we see more, that very likely could be bouncing up in value. It's in a pretty interesting spot. Now, of course, I am also somewhat concerned because literally at half a year before this, we had the Neon cards box being accepted. But this one's bright and colourful, various different colours, nice and noticeable. Well, how's that going to compare later down the line when, of course, we compare with the, Neon storage small box and whatnot. So, alright, cool. We'll talk more about that in a bit, don't you worry. Armored Double Door from Hell, a perfectly fine looking edition, another $4 skin. Let me remind you, earlier in the year, the Armored Double Door was the focused item of the month. So it wasn't like we're itching and praying and yearning for another Armored Double Door. But hey, a nice welcome addition for a very notable collection. I've been anticipating this. I expected it to eventually happen, very much so. In the lead up to complete the sets, I honestly thought this was going to appear. Lo and behold, it actually appeared. We saw Naval Camo Jacket being accepted. A very nice and welcome addition for this collection. And I do believe, and I'll say it again, the first ever blue jacket. Blue with that sort of colour scheme. I know we have like a standard blue jacket, but it's dark blue. That was a different blue, a nice blue. Naval Camo blue. So yeah, it walks into a very nice, in-demand collection of sorts. With that appearing, it did lead to the Tier 3 and the hoodie and pants Spiker price. Tier 2, though, even back then, wasn't looking very pretty. So, alright, cool. So, yeah, a very interesting skin right there. Militarized furnace, I thought it was okay, but I wasn't that fussed. Yeah, it's a green furnace, but do you really need a camouflage furnace? That bow, yes, this one in particular. That collection. Cell SMG, a bit of a random surprise, but it was a standard custom SMG. And you might recall not too long ago, I did have quite a discussion in regards to the Mutagen custom SMG, which didn't sell that much, but yeah. And then we got another transparent design for a fridge, a bamboo cage fridge. Interesting. Alright, so overall, lots of interesting collection continuations, but with every single Rust door that I see, I'm always questioning what potentially could be the best investment for the week. So, as I had gone through all the skins, and there is a lot of them, by default, I am expecting that inevitably, later down the line, as we go through October time, I really wouldn't be surprised if every single skin here goes down in price. When we have the next inevitable dip, when we have the next inevitable price drop, I expected everything to suffer. Okay, so when can we expect some very nice times? At least as we go through August, at least after we had like August 4 swipe, that's what I was hoping for and expecting. We would then see a lovely rise in value for a lot of skins. Prices improving, doing a whole lot better. That was my expectation. A lot of skins tend to peak in price around July and August time. But inevitably after that, September, October, November. So I had to warn people, don't be surprised if you could pick these skins up for a much cheaper price in the future. And chances are, especially like the auto turrets, for example, if we're starting to see a lot of skins for certain items that only just recently became skinnable, don't be surprised if they, inevitably drop down in price. there will be more options, and that can even, that easily lead to potential problems and whatnot. Lost my tongue a bit there, sorry about that. So yeah, overall, looking at all the skins, by default, I was behind Naval Camo jacket. Back then, Naval Camo had quite a lot of support. Clearly, there were signs of a lot of interest. I thought, so as long as this has a very nice summertime, that jacket will easily slot in perfectly fine. So yeah, and again, looking at all the jacket skins of the past, I thought it was a very unique design in which we haven't really seen anything like this before. So I generally thought, that's going to probably work out very nicely regardless, even if it was all by itself. But also, with my predictions, I was considering what to say, what to consider. I thought HellCore Tier 3 was in a very, very, very good spot. Initially, it didn't look as if it was going to sell too much. And with the success of HellCore in 2026, I honestly thought, I genuinely believed we were going to have a full-fledged, proper, complete HellCore collection. I was expecting boots and gloves. I was expecting Tier 2. And potentially a lot more weapons and tools as well. So, I was hopeful. I was optimistic. Well, we'll talk about that, won't we? So, yeah. But of course, I also mentioned, keep an eye on the sales. Certain things here could probably work out very nicely with a lack of sales. So, of course, I'll mention SINOTYPE mini cards box. Maybe that could be all right. Armored double door. Is that going to sell that much? Maybe that could have a nice turnaround. Perhaps even Knights Templar roadside gloves and boots. But, of course, Heat Seeker bolt action rifle. That had to be mentioned as well. A very interesting transparent aim sight bolt action rifle. I did do some comparisons, and all that I could find that compared with that were two notable Twitch drops from the past: the Coconut Bee bolt action rifle and the Hedge bolt action rifle. There might have been another one, I just don't fully remember. Sorry to say. So, alright. Marketable pay to win bolt action rifles. Sounds good to me. Surely that'll work out alright. Right? So, let's now talk about the first 24 hours of sales. Boom. So, I was actually a little bit late. 25.5. But yeah, I was actually expecting more sales. 11,000 for the Murder Hornet auto turret, followed by just under 8,000 for No Mercy auto turret. Perhaps with so many skins, people are like, I can only buy so much and whatnot. Alright, fair enough. But yep. Bamboo Cage Ridge, 2,700 subscribers, followed by the Cell Custom SMG, 2,900. Back all the way over to here. Knights Templar, Boots and Gloves, 6,700, 6,000. Heat Seeker bolt action rifle, only 6,600. Wow. That's actually quite tame. But most notably, Naval Camo jacket genuinely looked as if, compared to all the clothing armor, that this was going to sell the least. That had become very obvious, so, wow. Okay, very modest, as I literally say here. So, okay, well, let's see if that works out nicely as we then eventually discuss the abnormal bars. So, on the night of the abnormals, I'm sitting here, I'm questioning things, as I always do, and I'm thinking, you know what? Quite surprised to see Murder Hornet auto turret actually picked up. It reached just about 28,500 subscribers. No Mercy auto turret, just over 19,000 subscribers. To my surprise, Knights Templar roadside gloves and boots, they also sold quite a lot. Quite a lot. Gloves, 18,000. Boots, almost 16,000. But the Heat Seeker bolt action rifle, currently sitting there, 17,000 subscribers the night before with the Rust rotation. Okay, it did look as if quite a lot of the skins did pick up. So, first 24 hours of sales, The other days afterwards, it's alright, cool. HellCore, notably, had sold more in comparison to the hoodie and pants. So, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well then, of course, with every, abnormals, I sit here and question what prices I want to offer for all the skins. I've got it written down. Let's get through that. So, with the Murder Hornet auto turret, I knew there would be plenty more auto turret skins in the future. It's a brand new skinnable. I expect the brand new skinnables issue, and so of that, I only suggested 60 cents to 80 cents for the $2 Murder Hornet auto turret. Now, for the $4 No Mercy auto turret, I thought about it, I questioned it, and I thought, you know what? With it priced at $4, I am expecting a lot more. I said 90 cents to $1.30. I thought it'll probably end up about half its price after a while, and then I thought when times are real bad, it'll drop down even more. So yeah, 90 cents to $1.30. Now for the $4 Heat Seeker bot action rifle, I thought about it. I questioned how often do people actually use the bot action rifle. I was hoping that we were actually going to see a Heat Seeker summer 2026. I thought, you know what? I'm going to be a little bit realistic with this. I'm going to offer $2 to $2.50. I did expect it to suffer and go down in price. I knew there will be more bot action rifle skins being accepted. But were we going to see another pay-to-win transparent aim sight bar? That was the question. Well, we'll have a discussion a bit about that in a bit. Don't you worry, say yeah. HellCore Tier 3, both of the pieces priced at $2. I thought, you know what? Okay, they have sold quite a fair bit more compared to the hoodie and pants, but still, if we have boots and gloves or Tier 2, they're still spike and spike in price. Eventually, as time goes on, when we have the full collection, alright, maybe the Tier 3 might end up being the cheapest compared to everything else. But I still expect it to rise up in price when times are good, when we see some lovely collection continuations. So there's still profit to potentially be made. Still, though, I thought I'd only offer 90 cents to $1.30. I had seen HellCore suffer with the large gaps in between with a lack of skins being accepted. So, alright, we'll see how it goes. With the Molten Visage Electric Furnace, sitting there with just about 14,600 subscribers, priced at $3. I thought, yeah, I'm going to play it safe, 90 cents to $1.30. Because I had noticed we just keep seeing more and more and more electric furnace skins being accepted. Armored Double Door from Hell, $2 to $2.50. Sold quite modestly, but still $4, quite hard to maintain that price. Yeah, $2 to $2.50 seemed about right. SINOTYPE Mini Cards box, well, I looked at it. Looked pretty alright. Just about 14,000 subscribers, $2.49. I thought, you know what? I'm going to offer $1 to $1.50. I'm not 100% behind it. I was still questioning it. I was still a bit worried. I was still a bit concerned. So yeah, $1 to $1.50. But for the Naval Camo jacket, priced at $2, I thought, you know what? I'm going to bid quite high. I offered $1.20 to $1.70 because I honestly believed with the low sales it had in comparison to all the other clothing armor pieces, yes, I did believe that I was going to have a pretty interesting future ahead of it. So as long as the whole collection worked out all right. So we'll talk about that in a bit. And then the bamboo cage fridge. Didn't sell that much. Looked cool. I said $1.20 to $1.70. Now with the Knights Templar boots and gloves, I thought, okay, the collection's fairly in demand at this point in time. Very nice to see. I'm going to offer 70 cents, 90 cents. With the miniaturized furnace, I didn't really care that much. I just said 50 cents to 70 cents. I don't really trust furnace skins that much. And of course, with the training bag, $1.49, it's fine. Wasn't sure if we're going to see another deplorable being accepted anytime soon. I just said 70 cents, 90 cents. With the cockbow, I said 60 cents to 80 cents. And with the Cell Custom SMG, 60 cents to 80 cents. All right then. Well, next question to ask is, did I buy anything from the Rust store? Well, I thought about it. I questioned it. And I thought, you know what? I don't really want to miss out with this Heat Seeker bot action rifle. So I decided, okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a pop. I'll buy 30 of the Rainbow Pony bot action rifle skins. But with the Naval Camo jacket, I thought, okay. I have noticed not everything work out perfectly fine with this collection. I'm not sure how many people are going to be wanting to use the jacket. With the armour. Sure, I'm yawning. I haven't breathed enough whilst I've been yapping. I went with 30 Naval Camo jackets as well. I thought that was a perfectly reasonable amount. Again, sold the least out of all the clothing and armour. Surely it'll be alright. Right? So now, let's talk about the outcomes. Did everything match up to our expectations? And first things first, as I've said in the past, I have noticed with Complete the Sets Rust stores, they do tend to drop off after a while. Complete the Sets 2025. I always go back to this just to remind myself how things usually tend to work out. Not everything works out perfectly fine. But you know what? You do tend to get some very interesting rise in prices and whatnot. Certain things do tend to work out very nicely. So, okay, cool. Inevitably, though, with the first proper dip, I did expect some prices to really badly drop off. Okay? And funnily enough, we did notice a bit of a dip. So if I go back over to June 11, as we were going through June, I was actually bigging up the summertime. I was sitting here and saying, guys, you've got to be aware with the summer peaks, which usually happen between July and August time, we tend to see skin prices peaking at brand new all-time highs. And, well, one thing I've started to notice in recent years is a June dip. We did see it happen in 2025. I have no explanation as to why that happened. And I was kind of concerned, are we going to see it happen again? Well, when I first started questioning it, I hadn't noticed it. But the thing is, though, is I started talking about it around this period of time. Because as we went from the beginning of June to the end of June, there was a noticeable drop in value for a lot of the skins. A drop of about 10 to 20%. So, as you're looking at right now, we are still kind of struggling and suffering because of that dip. Only one skin right now is actually in the positive. But here's the funny thing. Give it 2 weeks. Look at this again. You might notice these are doing a lot better. Because once we've had August 4 swipe, once we see how many people turned up, and let me tell you, there's a lot of interesting changes happening for August 4 swipe, I can't help but assume we are going to actually have that summer peaks happening. And, hopefully we start seeing some interesting collection continuations and whatnot. What do you mean by that? Well, we should probably start talking about these skins now, so let's get to it. Murder Hornet Auto Turret. I was right to be hesitant. I was right to play it safe. As I said, I early offered 60 cents to 80 cents for this one, if I'm correct. Was it a little bit more? No, 60 cents to 80 cents. It has dropped down to just barely over $1. Now, let me also point out, yes, we have endured a dip. That has, in fact, happened. But I'm still expecting October time to be a lot worse for this. Now, there were attempts for a collection continuation. Stabby the Skin Creator did attempt. He did try. It's a perfectly fire-looking auto turret, a very cool standout design, and we saw some very interesting deplorables being made after it. But unfortunately, they weren't accepted. So, well, with a lack of acceptances and a lot more auto turret skins being accepted, yep, including Twitch drops, yep, where are they? I've lost them here, ta-da. Okay, cool. Right, so point made. Brand new skinnables issue. The first two auto turrets to be accepted sold the most, and now they suffer because of it. How unfortunate. But then again, not too surprising. I was playing it safe for a reason. I could smell potential problems, so yeah. Right then, so yeah, played it safe, and I was correct to do so. So of course, as we look at the No Mercy auto turret, same thing. I could just tell things were to go all right. Yeah, only 21,000 subscribers, but evidently that is now the second highest auto turret skin we've seen in terms of sales. Because notably on average we've seen about 10,000 subscribers for each auto turret. It's not exactly swamped, it's not exactly doomed, but it's not exactly going to be recovering anytime soon, is it? No. And No Mercy collections, like one of the largest collections, so new skins barely even make a change to well, they barely have an impact on the pre-existing skins, let me tell you that. So, oof. But yeah, let me go ahead and showcase this. Highest subscribers, and what do you see? Yes, the second highest selling. Oof. Yeah, how unfortunate. But again, not surprising. So, well, so far, what's been your most favourite auto turret skin? And did you buy any of these from the Rust store? Did you buy directly? I can't confirm. I haven't removed my barters for both of the skins, but we'll see what happens as we go for October time. I suggested 60 cents to 80 cents. I suggested 90 cents to 1 to the 30. I feel like inevitably I will be picking some up eventually. So I'm not upset with the prices I suggested, but as of now, I am a fair bit short. Well, let's move on and talk about Knights Templar Roads and Gloves and Boots. I forgot to mention, these were not abnormal. So we didn't have that early advantage to put down a barter and see how things worked out. Anyway, Knights Templar. The older clothing armor skins, they're doing good. The more recent ones, oh dear. So that's a bit problematic, isn't it? Yeah. These only sold so much, I guess you could say, because let me just point this out. 20,000 subscribers for the Roads and Gloves, 17,500 for the boots. Hoodie pants, 20,000, so that's a bit weird. But then again, they came up first, so alright, cool. Tier 2 only did about 13 to 14,000 subscribers. Tier 3 only did about 15,000 subscribers. The jacket did 17,000, but of course the boots and the gloves, they sold a little bit too much. So yeah, they are struggling and they are suffering. I did remove my barders on both of these, although I did buy a bunch as well. Oh. Not buy straight from the Rust store, buy through barders. So, oh dear. Yeah, didn't work out perfectly fine. But you know what? What happens as we go through August? What happens if we actually notice a lot of people playing? Are we going to start noticing a lot of people wanting to dress up as Knights Templar and whatnot? Because as I look at this right now, as I actually look at this, you know what? It isn't looking that bad. It could recover perfectly fine. Maybe we could get some tactical gloves. Maybe we could get more weapon skins or deplorables being made for this. Primitive clothing, whatnot, we'll see. But it's not looking that bad. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, sold a little bit too much. Guess it just wasn't going to work out. Speaking of, why is this down by a third of its value? Interesting you say that. But it turns out we did get a certain pay-to-win bar just after we had the Heat Seeker. Quite literally, the very next Rust store. Rainbow Pony appeared. They listed this at $2. Half the price of Heat Seeker. Heat Seeker was $4. Very next Rust store, say hello to Rainbow Pony. That'd be $2, please. Thank you, Face Punch. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, yeah, 18,668 subscribers. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, thanks. Anyway, let's go take a look at the skins on the Steam market. I meant to do that, but let's just quickly show this off with its transparency. Didn't really get to show that off, did I? So, cool, gig, look at that. And now let's go take a look at it on the Steam market. How many listings do we see? Does it look like it's struggling? Well, to be honest with you, 78 listings isn't that bad. 14 sales in the past 24 hours. Could be a lot better. Sure. Maybe it is a question of how often do people even use the bolt action rifle. Maybe I'm realising, well, maybe you shouldn't have bought some. Well, duh. I have had to remove my barter as well, because I did pick up a bunch as well. Oh dear. So it's actually been maintaining this price quite decently as of recent. I really am hoping it manages to go back up over its Rust store price. But we need to see more Heat Seeker skins being accepted. And unfortunately, we're not really seeing that happen, are we? You never know what might happen in the future, but I am aware more attempts for skins have been made as of recent. So if I could look over to here, there was a crossbow. Was that it? Yeah, it's just a crossbow. Vase, you need to make more weapon skins. Alright, cool. How unfortunate, but not surprising based on what Face Punch did next, so yeah. Training bag, you know what? This actually worked out quite alright, because we happened to get another deplorable skin being accepted. We saw the bed being accepted quite recently, and you'll notice this had a very nice spike command, spike and price. It happens around here. Do you see it? Wow, isn't that amazing? Yeah, that was clearly very noticeable, and it went wacko and insano, and it did no, it barely did. It barely changed, really. It slightly went back over its Rust store price, but after a while, it went slightly back below its Rust store price. So it went slightly above, It's just maintaining, it's just retaining. I should have just said that, basically. Like, it's doing all right. I see no issues with it. I got no problems. I didn't buy any, but I certainly did try and do a decent buy order. And, of course, what price did you suggest, Hedge? I said 70 cents, 90 cents. Have you picked up any, Hedge? No. Oh, dear. So, maybe I should have offered more. Maybe we do end up seeing a lot more deplorables being produced and accepted for this collection. Of course, I'm keeping an eye out. What has Michigan Swansburg produced? Well, a bucket helmet. But the bed as well, of course. So, they are juggling other collections, of course, as you'll see. But, yeah. So, bed was nice. Very happy to see it. Still doing very nicely by itself as well. But, yeah, maybe you sold a little bit too much. Great bag to put outside, by the way. Doesn't glow in the dark. So, I'm sure people will appreciate that. But again, 16,500 subscribers is quite a lot. So, maybe there's just too much of them. All right, fair enough then. Speaking of too much of them, HellCore Tier 3. Well, you did sell quite a fair bit more compared to Hoodie Pants. And as you notice, Hoodie Pants only slightly below the Rust store price. But these two, well, oh dear. And here's the even funnier thing. Hoodie and pants have over 100 listings on the Steam market each. So here's 126. As you'll notice, the price is retaining a whole lot better. Ta-da! Yep. So, mostly doing all right here. But then I look at the face mask, and it's quite funny because it has about, well, more than half less. And as you'll notice, it's also not doing exactly very good either. Oh dear. So, yes, I reiterate my point. If we were to see tier 2 boots and gloves, both of them would cause the likes of this to spike them on, spike in price ever so nice. It could easily get bought out. There's only so much to go around. So I'm still keeping my hopes up, although at some point you might have to be a bit realistic. But yeah, I still have high hopes. I still hope to see the collection being completed, but things are being silly right now. Face Punch accepted the jacket. Okay, I mean, the jacket's fine. I'm not going to be upset with that. But then they accepted a head wrap. That was in a rush store where that was the only clothing and armor piece. I don't know what they're doing. I have no understanding what's going on here. Please, can we just complete some sets? Like, again, the boots and gloves are right there. We've got a bucket helmet. We've got a bucket helmet. Oh, wow. So I showed that off my... Uh-oh. Never mind. Anyway, so yeah, perfectly fine looking potential sequels. They're not being accepted, though. Like, again, I reiterate, the tier 3 needed a version 2 to be accepted. Well, look, here's tier 2 version 2. Why is it not being accepted? Yet. Maybe August 4 swipe, we shall see. But yeah, point made, understood. We get the idea. So, well, didn't work out, unfortunately. Now, I did suggest up to $1.30 of a barter, didn't I? Yes, I did pick up a bunch of these. I still am. Yes, I still am with my lower price barter. But I still have faith that we will see HellCore collection being completed. I hope so. I really do. I might have to wait for another complete the sets. If the skin creator keeps trying, I'm sure eventually they will all be accepted. So, no, we'll see how it goes. Molten Visage Electric Furnace. I didn't have the highest of hopes for you, did I? No, not really. As I said, I was noticing more and more of these skins being produced and accepted. That being electric furnaces. But you know what? It's actually done quite a decent job retaining most of its value. Only 20 listings right now. Only 10 sales in the past 24 hours. So, okay. It's a sheer lack of listings that seems to be helping it out the most. But other than that, it doesn't seem to be moving that much. So, yeah. I don't think I'll be picking up any anytime soon. I'm not sure if we're going to see any more Molten Visage skins being produced. I certainly haven't seen that happening. So if I go over to here, look at Trix's recent submissions. Yep, there you go. No Molten Visage. So I guess it's just kind of stuck there. As more and more and more electric furnaces are accepted after it. Well, I can only hope it works out for you, buddy. Yeah. SINOTYPE mini cards box. Well, very funny this. We did see another SINOTYPE small box being accepted. The mini firearms. And since then, we've been anticipating and rubbing our hands at the potential of a brand new SINOTYPE mini collection, but it hasn't happened yet. Yet. Emphasis on yet, okay? So when I first saw this, I even gave suggestions of what could be made, and a lot of people want to see skins like this, and the skin creator has quite literally said, oh yeah, I should probably go ahead and make a tease box. Well, that was over 2 weeks ago. I don't know what's going on. He has been waiting and waiting and waiting. So if I go back over to here, if I look at his most recent submissions, yeah, we had Neoka. So we're still waiting. Maybe we'll see a skin being produced this next weekend. We shall see, or the weekend after that, the weekend after that. But I need to see more of these small boxes. Otherwise, these are just going to go... But that's going to be a fun discussion because this sold quite a fair bit less compared to this. This is still retaining most of its value. I still have high hopes. I'm still expecting to see more small boxes being accepted eventually. This is still looking to see. This still looks as if it could spike them on spike price ever so nice. It did when this appeared, but more so. So if you're watching this right now, do consider taking a look at this because I can't help but assume we are expecting a potential small box collection that probably at least gets the last 5 extra skins accepted. Here's hoping. So yeah, the more, the better for this. I'm a double door from hell. Well, I said $2 to $2.50. I haven't actually picked one up yet, but give it time. As we inevitably go through October time, I will most likely be buying a bunch of these with a barter, just to confirm, with a barter. So yes, this is currently down a fair bit, not ridiculously, not exactly doing terrible. It's holding up. It's doing all right. Could be better. Yeah, obviously could be better. But yeah, after so many armored double doors have been accepted early in the year, people just weren't that fast. But to see this finally being accepted after about 4 years, okay, I welcome it. Not going to be upset with it. But even now, yeah, you're still struggling. Maybe in the further future, things work out a little bit better for you. We'll see. As of now, I haven't actually picked up any. Have you? Did you buy any of these from the rest store? Feel free to comment below. Did you happen to buy any of these Naval Camo jackets from the rest store? I did. And I could sell them right now for a profit. I don't want to sell them right now, though. So, as I said, after we did the abnormal barders, I went ahead and looked at the skins. I realised, you know what? Naval Camo jacket, you're the lowest selling clothing armor piece out of everything in the collection. The collection does look as if it could work out ever so nicely in the further future. I had to jump in, I had to buy some. I had a strong barter, I made a purchase, and yes, that's the only skin this week that's actually working out quite alright. For now. Again, give another week or so, as we get further and further into August time, I am expecting all prices to start really improving soon. I really do hope so. I really do. But anyway, so cool. If we look at all of these based on lowest subscriber count, as you'll notice, yes, the AK came out afterwards, but yes, all the clothing armor pieces, this is in fact the lowest. Now, will it appreciate that position ever more so in the further future? Could more skins appear to give this a nice boost? Well, we're still anticipating a pair of tactical gloves. That wouldn't surprise me if we see that eventually at some point later in the year, maybe next year, and have complete sets. We shall see. But yeah, it's working out quite all right. But I want to see it do better, so I can sell for better profits. Lovely. So yeah, writing on the wall, pretty easy to read into, to figure out, and yes, that ended up becoming a very nice investment so far, but it could become a whole lot better. So, will we actually see the tier 2 work out right in the further future? It needs to get rid of a lot of listings on the Steam market for that to happen. So if you're one of those people, just remove it all. You might actually see this progress nicely as we go through August time. Miniaturized furnace, I didn't really have that much to say. I didn't have like the highest of hopes. I didn't expect much. And I don't think I even did a barter. I don't remember doing one. That's my answer. So yeah, I don't think I even picked up any with a barter. Did you? Feel free to comment below. The bow actually had some transparency, but it felt like it was glitched transparency. It was a weird thing to see, so I didn't really make too much of a fuss about this. But, you know, we've had plenty more actual transparent bow skins, and they still don't really work out that much, so yeah. Its collection isn't exactly doing that much. Yeah. Did we see another transparent bow being accepted after you? Yes, Stinger appeared. So, yeah, this has just suffered. It's just there, basically. I suggested 60 cents to 80 cents. I've offered too little. Didn't work out, so. Same with the customer SMG. Yep, I said 60 cents to 80 cents, although give it more time. Chances are that might go lower. It's quite literally sitting there at $1. So let's just give this a quick look. And as you'll see, well, yes. So that obviously went down. And then, of course, we have the bamboo cage fridge. I thought with its interesting transparent design, with it priced at $3, you know what, maybe that could actually work out quite all right. It sold hardly anything. We've had some interesting exploits with the previous deplorable skins, but I can confirm to you, it's not in demand, it has dropped off, it's just basically barely holding up. Sold for $3 in the past 24 hours, well, only one has sold and it's sitting here at $2. I don't recall if I actually did a strong barter. I think if I can recall, I still removed my barter. But, yeah. That did not retain its value whatsoever, no. And at its lowest point, it appears to be now. Now seems to be its lowest point. So, oh. I mean, I know it doesn't glow in the dark or anything, other than like the light at the very bottom if you connect it to electric. But wow. Huh. That's not good, no. That's not good at all, no. I thought this, you know, could be some exploits, could utilize this like the lockers utilized on boats and whatnot. Evidently, people prefer the lockers, so okay. So yeah, I'm just kind of sitting here thinking, oh, that's a bit of a shame. But you know what? When I first initially looked at the skins, I was like, guys, you've got to be aware that complete the sets for us stores, they tend to drop off pretty badly as time goes on. It feels like an inevitability. So, yeah. So I wasn't absolutely perfect with a lot of these skins, but give it more time. As we get closer and closer to October time, chances are I very likely will be picking up a lot of these skins for a much cheaper price. Because I honestly believe, yeah, with a lack of collection continuations and whatnot, these inevitably are going to suffer a fair bit more. Although, Give it another month or so. I'm sure we could still see more HellCore. I'm sure we could still see potentially more Naval Camo. Another training deplorable. Maybe another Heat Seeker skin. We'll see. We'll see. But those collections certainly do need it. Yes, indeed they do. So, well, let's go ahead and give you a nice little preview for next week's profit review video. It wasn't Complete the Sets Part 2. Although we still saw some sets continuing, such as a Tribal LSR, which just so happened to be paid to win. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. But we also got ballistic boots and gloves. Skins made in reference to the brand new ballistic armor. And then, of course, another pop star skin and another neon skin. And, as we already mentioned, Rainbow Pony bolt-action rifle, priced at $2, with a transparent pay-to-win aim sight. Wow! Yay! HellCore jacket actually appeared the very next restore. Completely forgot about that. And a gold chain salvage axe? Huh? After we've already had the ice pick? Is this the first ever marketable instance of salvage tools? I do believe it is. So, we've got some interesting things to talk about next week. But for now, let's wrap up this video. So feel free to comment below. Did you buy anything directly from the Rust store? Are you okay with how things are? Are you still optimistic as we go through August time? Things will have a nice turnaround and things can still work out perfectly fine. Are you? I'm still hopeful, so we'll see how it is. Right, so with that, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you later. See you, goodbye.